So I have to bring this up about Sundays. So because I see this all the time, and I know the answer to this, but I want you to explain it. Sunday hunting, why don't you just open it up to the entire state?
Man, we'd love nothing more. And you're right. We get that question all the time. It's if you ever check our Facebook page,
I see it.
It doesn't matter what the post is. The top 3 comment is going to be, what about Sundays? This is great, but give us Sundays. We would love to. Within the way we're structured in Pennsylvania, our board sets regulations, but ultimately, though, there is a statute, the Game and Wildlife Code, that controls and supersedes even our regulations. That's the ultimate authority, basically, when it comes to hunting. And there is a section within the law, that Game and Wildlife Code, that says hunting on Sundays is prohibited. Now, a few years ago, we were able to kind of crack that ceiling a little bit and create an exception, which is on 3 days there at the beginning of firearms deer season, the end of the archery season, and for bear season. So we got 3 days, and those are 3 big days from a participation standpoint. So we got that. Now the second challenge and the ultimate challenge is going to be just removing that whole prohibition on Sunday hunting so that our board can set seasons for 7 days a week. And you said it earlier in the podcast, change comes a little slowly to Pennsylvania. We are one of the outliers when it comes to this. It's definitely for us, the holy grail really is to change that to let us have full Sunday hunting, because I would love nothing more from a staff perspective than to give our board recommendations where there's seasons that include Sundays.
Yeah, I see it all the time in the comments, and honestly, probably until, I don't know, maybe 2018, I think, really, when I started this podcast, and I did an interview with Brian Burhans prior, and he had mentioned that. I didn't know. I thought it was the Game Commission that made that rule. So yeah, I just wanted to add that point. I actually had that in my notes to make sure that I specifically asked you that. But
I appreciate you bringing it up and helping provide that clarity. And certainly, I can't, blame a hunter if you're just, it just what you would think, right? It's counterintuitive to think that it's actually the law that's prohibiting Sunday hunting. You just would think it'd be the Game Commission.
Yeah.
So to the extent that we can help get that word out, because ultimately the legislature has the power to change that law, and they came really close last year. I'm hoping this year we can get that across the finish line. But nothing would help more than if the elected officials heard from their constituents, heard from those hunters who don't want to be inside on a Sunday. And it never fails, right? Like, be it turkey season or be it in the rut, like Saturday's a mess. A weather front comes through, it rains, and it's done that like just about every Saturday this turkey season. And then you wake up Sunday and it's this beautiful day, and you're just like, I can't believe I can't be out there.
Yeah.
So if we could get more hunters to, let their legislator know, hey, we want to hunt on Sundays like they do in most states.
Mm-hmm.
That is what would get the ball across the finish line, and we're really hoping that happens.
Yeah, I feel like the best cold fronts hit on Sundays during archery season.
Right.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I mean, I love football, but I'd rather be out hunting than watching football. Give us that chance. And this past year, I was out for junior turkey season, and it rained. And it was my youngest. It was his last chance to hunt, and the rain totally screwed us up. Woke up Sunday, beautiful day. It's just like that hurt. That hurt.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, that makes sense. It's but it sounds like things are still moving in a positive direction to hopefully seeing that as a change.
I've never been more optimistic, and dare I say that the conversation has shifted from if there'll be Sunday hunting to when there'll be Sunday hunting. And when I started, it was very much if. Like, it was in doubt. I wasn't sure if it would ever happen. But in the past couple of years, there's been a ton of momentum behind it.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of groups come together, and really a coalition, essentially, because we have the hunting groups and now even the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, which for years was against Sunday hunting. Even now, they have come out and made it a priority bill for them to get Sunday hunting.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Right. So we got groups on both ends of the spectrum saying, hey, let's have Sunday hunting. And, from the Farm Bureau's perspective, completely understand it gets more hunters onto their property, removing deer from eating their crop.
Crop damage, yeah.
Exactly. So now you just met with them earlier this week. They are all on board, and they're making a push to get Sunday hunting repealed as well. So when you have hunters and farmers working together on an issue, again, I think the conversation has changed from if to when, and we'd love nothing more for it to be this year. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. So who's the opposition at this point?
It it really comes down to that tradition, and there are just some who just feel like that should be a day of rest. That's a day for in church. We don't want people out hunting, and maybe private landowners are like, the last thing I want is somebody else. It's okay with them on a Saturday, but I really want to be left alone for a Sunday, and we recognize that. I mean, that's part of it in a state our size. As many, 85% of the land is privately held, so there are going to be some private landowners just like, I just want to be left alone on Sunday. I absolutely get that, and I absolutely respect their right if we get Sunday hunting to say no hunting on Sundays on my property. That would potentially be the solution, but there's certainly, as you said, change comes slowly in Pennsylvania. We're having great discussions about it. I'm optimistic that the day will come, for us, for my kids, where they'll look back and be like, can you imagine that there used to be a time when nobody hunted on Sundays? Like, I'm looking forward to them thinking it's crazy that was used to be the case.
Yeah. Oh, that's great to be able to hear. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with your buddies. Leave us a rating, a review, and subscribe. If you want to check out more content like this, there's plenty in the links below. We truly appreciate having you guys along with us.